is relevant. I'm vegan.
You ready, girl?
I'm ready.
Work. So, hello everyone. Yo. It's your boy, Seafoam Solge. And today with me I've got...
I'm Bob. I'm Floppy Bob. I get to be Floppy Bob again.
AKA Bob the Booker.
There we go.
Blown up on the tube, yo.
All over.
Go subscribe if you haven't already. Sorry, I should have closed that beforehand. So, just finished watching the first 2 episodes of All-Star 6. Hopefully you guys can hear us okay. Because they is there a thing show if the mic's working?
Yeah, I thought I saw it moving earlier.
Can
you hear us? Let's hope.
I think it's working.
I'm also really loving this lighting. I'm looking.
Hey Kurt, how you doing? It's been ages. But let us know if the mic's working because it's gonna be quite awkward.
Yeah, that would be quite.
If it's not, let's continue.
He made a really good joke at the beginning and everything.
It was very good. If it's not working, then we will just. Yay! Thank you. Cool. Okay. So there's so much to go through. I haven't written notes for everything. I haven't written notes for all the queens and every challenge, there's 36 outfits on the board. I'm not going to write notes on 36 looks. So we appreciate it, though, Kurt. Hope you're all good. So we're just sort of just any standout faults we'll go through. I definitely noticed I've made a lot more notes in episode 1. I think a lot more interesting things.
Yeah.
In episode 1, IMO. Should we go through it?
Let's do this.
Do it. Okay, so my first note. Also, I want to try and point out things I think other people may not have pointed out because I'm not like the other girls.
You're very much that girl.
I'm very much.
You're that girl that I thought you were.
Thank you. You're special. Thanks. Quirky AF. So I'm wondering. So I noticed that Jiggly looks quite bland in the confessionals. She was the first one we sort of saw. And then I told you.
There we go. It's really funny because in my mind I'm like, these are really not that muscular, but just the angle I've got, what you can't see is
I'm seeing them in person. They're looking
this part here, on camera right now, is looking quite muscular. This is just literally just chopped.
It's looking
kind of selectively done. I might move at some point so I'm not half leg.
Mate, give them what they want.
There we go.
Stop
relying on those legs.
Get them views in, No, rely on those legs. I thought she looked quite bland in confessionals, and I was wondering whether Sonique did as well. I think she does as well comparatively, and I'm wondering because obviously trans women are kind of new to a full season.
Yeah.
Whether they're asked the trans women, because again, I'm thinking the confessional looks for all the other queens are over the top, very theatrical, quite a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas comparatively, Jiggly and Sonique's looks are a little bit bland and muted. In my opinion,
I hadn't really thought about that.
And I'm wondering whether the production have asked them to do that to show the difference between their drag personas and their natural personas.
Right, to have more of a departure between the two.
Yeah. Oh wait a minute, Kurt. I've missed you coming from
Kurt saying I could crash a melon. I wouldn't try that with my legs. I'd probably just fall over.
I love Jiggly's pink hair as well. But yeah, just thought it was interesting. I just felt for confessional looks, they were a little bit muted.
That's a good point, yeah. But I think we were both saying this out there as well, watching as well. They just look so happy. It is so nice to watch Jiggly this season.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Jiggly was fairly happy in season 4,
but there was some darkness there as well.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
We're all aware of.
And it's so nice to it's so nice to just see Jiggly just really having a great time. She just looks so happy and relieved throughout the whole season.
Really nice to see.
I think just her watching as queens come in, it's just so gorgeous because everyone that's coming in, she's yes, props to your mama kind of thing. She's so there for it. And it's so great to see. I'm just really happy.
Yeah, I agree. I second that. You totally threw off my original point. But
sorry.
It's a good point. I do agree.
This is worse. Likewise, this is a lot.
Okay.
I'm just
mate, don't be ashamed.
Thank you.
Thanks
for not shaming for my leg. I'm also destroying your sofa and slowly.
No, that's fine. Compared to Dan and Chris, it's a step up. So Raj says she's going to be nicer. Let's see how that pans out. So far, I wrote this at the beginning, so I'm let's see it by the end of episode 2 whether we feel that is the case. I would say so.
I'm really enjoying Raja. I think I was definitely skeptical when I saw her in the list of queens.
Ooh.
Of just thinking she was going to be someone who would come in and they would kind of, I don't know, they were basically going to set her up to be a really early out. And then
as
I was sort of watching, oh no, she's really fun. I'm so glad that we're seeing her this way now because we obviously didn't get to see that in season 11. She was quite bitter and quite you could tell she just wasn't having a good time.
Yeah. Well, interesting. Like piggybacking off of what you just said, I still
miss piggybacking.
I still really not. I was going to talk about that. Very bizarre. But I still don't get why she's back. And it's what I say a lot with these All-Star seasons. Like, I don't know if she's got much more to show us apart from being a bit nicer. Like in terms of her talent, we knew she was talented from her season. Like,
yeah.
So I don't really know. I'm still sort of like, am I that excited to see more from her? But I actively disliked her most of the time on her season, but yeah. I'm enjoying her so far. Like, she does seem nicer. She's funnier. She's more charming. Like, I think she has so far. Like, she definitely seems to take a massive step forward. She might not be an angel or whatever, but I'm not asking for that. But she does actively seem to be something she has worked on, which is nice to see.
Yeah, and I think now that she's won a challenge as well, I think whatever happens for the rest of the season, I think she'll be in a much better place.
Yes,
because like she kind of, yeah, exactly as Simon said there, like. She has such a lightness to her this time around.
Totally, I completely agree. And also, as Kurt was saying as well, like that's something we mentioned in episode 2. So we were flipping around a little bit, but that's the way it's going to go. This because there's 2 episodes in one, 2 hours to go through. But yeah, both Bob and I were saying that Raj's look they keep cutting back to that she designed previously, like the corn one or whatever it was.
Yeah,
actually pretty decent. Like,
yeah, the only issue was it was with like the trousers were a little bit boxy because it was made from burlap,
but even
and
then,
they like tore a bit on the sides.
But even then, like it really wasn't that bad.
It was great.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like most of her looks were always good. That was never really her issue, I suppose.
Really great question here from Kurt though. If this was a 10 Queen All Stars, which 3 queens would you
drop? That is a good question.
And it's weird because actually, like if we drop them pre-season, like maybe it's different to what they would be now. Because like I would have potentially dropped someone like Raja. Now that the season started, I'm like, oh, actually, I'm quite enjoying her.
Actually, you know what? For me, going off what I said before, to me, it's easy. The queens I don't really need to see more from because I already know they're good. Akiri is one of them. I think Akiri is great, but like, what else is she going to bring this season we haven't already seen? Jan 100% for me as well because
I
for the exact same reason. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I want like a much later All Stars with Jan because I think it's been so soon and like so as a result, it doesn't really feel like much has particularly changed. Mm-hmm. It feels more like rolling the dice again, and because like it isn't like Jan's come back and be like, I fixed that makeup issue that everyone had an issue with, or like
she really hasn't.
No, I still would.
No, makeup's
but like it just feels like an extension of season 12.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is my main thing. So my third queen might be Ginger because of that reason, but I'm going to take like personal taste or preference over that, which is Silky. Get rid of Silky.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's weird because Silky needs that redemption.
But she's not going again. She's not
getting it so far. Yeah.
No, because exactly as you just said, she's not like come back like I'm going to change this. She's literally said I don't regret anything about that season at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just more of the same. It's actually definitely Silky for that reason as well.
Yeah, I think I was hoping that Silky would come back and be like, hey, you know what? Like, I was really in my head and was a bit blah, blah, blah. At least sort of play the narrative a little bit. But she's sort of come back and it's just been like, no, I'm great. Okay, Silky. I don't know.
Interesting. So, Soleiman's saying that we'd have dropped Silky, Serena, and Eureka. And like again, to be fair, there's quite a few you could probably drop this season. I mean, Eureka, I'm kind of happy is back because I think she does have more to show personally. But again, we'll see, I suppose.
Yeah.
Especially again, I know I don't know how I feel about categorizing different queens as like race or size or whatever. But I do think she is the most polished big girl in terms of looks and runway presentation.
Eureka is so.
Yeah, we've ever seen on Drag Race. And I think that itself makes it fun to see her on runway personally.
Yeah, and I mean,
and she's fun to watch. I know this thing I want you to talk about this because you really disliked it. If you go watch any of our previous streams from the season she was on, you really weren't a fan. But I feel like even you've warmed to her.
I don't know if it's the distance because
obviously you look disgusted, like your face. Yeah,
because we had her like back to back in 9 and 10, and so part of me feels like I hated her. Not hate. Hate's a strong word for that, but like I found her. She rubbed me the wrong way, and I think part of it back then, I think, is I think I always found that she went for really low hanging fruit. It was always just like, and like always had to have the last word. So there'd be a joke, and she's like I love Dick, and you're like, great, thanks Eureka for that really wonderful contribution.
But maybe she does love Dick, Bob.
I think she does. I mean, I think
she should be respected for that.
She should. I mean, I'm not shaming her.
Trust me, like you are.
But I think it was just like literally like it, I think in seasons 9 and 10 it felt like she had to take up she had to take every single moment that was going. So like anyone would make a joke and she's like, rah, loud noise in the background or joke or something, and it was just like
I agree, and it wasn't.
I think she stepped back and she's kind of, I think, a bit more comfortable in her own skin now.
Yes, I do agree that to an extent, but also like she still is one of the most like vocal, like her she still has reaction most of the time to things.
Yeah,
and like it does make the show more fun. Like if all the queens were British and just didn't react to anything like Ruth said or whatever, it would be not as fun. Like I know it can be kind of annoying, but it definitely hasn't like breached that point into being annoying yet this season.
Yeah, not yet.
It just makes it more entertaining, I think.
But no, I think I've warmed to her. Maybe it's just having distance from her.
Kurt! Blasphemy.
What's Kurt
I've said every single All-Stars, April needs to be back on. Why has April not been on? Okay, I've recently been rewatching season 6, but also Race Chaser as well. And I fully stand by this. April was done fully dirty. She was given the Butch Queen on the challenge she didn't want to be. She was given the big girl, the big girl in the musical, which she was fucked with. Like, what are you going to do? Like, the whole joke is...
I'm a star!
Exactly, the whole joke... I mean, obviously she didn't do great with that one line she was given, but like... The whole joke is that you're big, like, and she's skinny. So, like, what are you going to do with that? She's fucked. There's nothing she could have done. Her looks were amazing. Like, she hasn't had the chance to show us what she's capable of in terms of any of the other challenges because she was fucked over in 2 challenges she was a part of. So.
Yeah, and I think kind of like maybe Serena's maybe not the best example of this, but I think with queens who were on, like, seasons 5 and 6 had so many strong queens that, like, there were loads of queens who were really, really good, but who were never going to make the top 7
Yes, exactly. As Serena said, but not Serena.
Yeah. But, like, so I think someone like April maybe...
And Layla as well is another great
Layla's a great one, yeah. I think, like, deserve a little bit of an extra shout because I think, and they've had the benefit of quite a few years to really surprise us.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of my issue with Jan being in this season is, like, what, and like Kurt mentioned above, like, she's literally had a couple of months between finishing one season.
Yes, that's a good point out as well. That's a good point, yeah. So she could increase their budget.
Yeah. And so, like, what is Jan going to do that's really surprising? Like, because Jan isn't really going to be like, oh, you know...
she literally did the same look she did from her season again and slightly changed it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's not the way you have to... I think, I mean, obviously we'll talk more about that on the episode, but like, I think it's important to bring up now because, like I'm saying, for me, I think for a lot of people, I mean, obviously, like, it's all my stuff from my own perspective, my own views or whatever, but like, I think a lot of people want to see how queens have changed since their season. So on a second episode, recreating a look you done your season like 2 years ago, like, it's not the way to go, sis.
Unless there was like she made that, didn't she?
The makeup was exactly the same.
I was going to say maybe it was like something she brought in for a different challenge that got scrapped, but she made it. Yeah. See, I do like Kurt saying he's not a Jan fan. See, I do.
She's very you.
She's very me.
Yeah.
I really like Jan, but the things that stop me from fully warming to her haven't changed.
No.
And so I just also, I think she just needs a bit of a chance to breathe a little bit and then come back in like an All-Stars 8 and just crush it.
This is a reference literally no one's going to get, but she has given us on her season Jancy Star Online, but now Jancy Star Online New Genesis is out. She's just not stepped her pussy up.
I love this reference.
Thank you very much.
I love it.
Thank you very much. But yeah, you're gone.
Entirely that.
Thank you.
Like, I disagree.
Thank you. But also, but Jack, like, what I will say to redeem her, like, she's so much fun to watch when she's not performing.
Yes.
Like, her reactions, that was still by far the best part of the episodes was I wrote it down, was her reaction to
talent show.
Yeah, but whose was it? It was
Gingers. The 1,000
Gingers,
yards.
wasn't it?
Serena. I know.
I think it was after Gingers, but after one of them, yeah, it's just like the camera like zooms in on her and like zooms out, and I was just like, yeah, like 1,000 yards stare. It was like the best gift. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I agree. So I think this is the thing. I think Jan, the talent show performance that she did really. Yeah, this is the thing. I think maybe Jan was overlooked because she performed first, and then like 8 other queens did sort of lip syncy kind of song things. But her vocals were great. I mean, my issue with this, and I think partly this is also a thing where her having a bit of space between seasons could have helped, is it's still so like brand Jan. It's still so like polished, perfect, which is not a bad thing. But I think the issue that people had with her, where she didn't necessarily do well in season 12 was because she was so polished and so perfect and so...
You know what? I don't disagree. She is polished, but like one thing I noticed thinking about now especially is like her makeup is very polished, but it doesn't really mesh with the looks very well. She always has the same sort of makeup.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it doesn't... It's like you said, like if she had like a tire marks to like the mechanic one, was it mechanic?
Oh yeah.
That would have been social. But just generally, like, she has like a very polished mug and like a very certain style of doing her makeup, and she doesn't ever change that at all.
Well, this is the thing, because I was wondering this during season 12 why I wasn't completely in love with her in the way, like, I really liked her, but it's weird because I was thinking, because so a lot of her looks were really out there and clever in terms of thinking, but it was almost, I wonder if maybe it's the makeup thing, but I almost want to compare her in the sense of like why I really love Manila but can't always warm to Jan. And I think it's maybe because Manila is like super high concept,
yes,
and then does something quirky and silly on top. So I think the tire based outfit that she did in the second episode, Jan, this is. I feel like if it was Manila, there would have been a giant tire track bit of makeup over the face or on the arm. There'd have been something that made it kitschy and not clean or not perfect that would actually make it perfect.
And also, like another note on that we talked about when we watched it is her performance isn't good. Like the way she sells the outfit is lackluster. Again, it's very like I don't know how to describe it. But you compare it to someone like Alaska who like fully embodies like the look she's trying to give us. Fancy Your Adore, for example. Like loads of examples. A lot of the best queens all do it. Like they fully embody the fantasy they're trying to purvey, whereas Jan is just Jan, but like with slightly different moves.
Yeah,
you know.
But the Adore was almost on the season. Do you know that? I
heard her talk about it. No, she said she turned down the season because her mental health wasn't.
Oh, and they didn't approve her variety show performance.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I really hope she's on next season for sure. Anyway, I
think this is to become about Jan.
I think it's fine to dart around throughout the 2 episodes. Let's try and have a bit of structure. So let's see if there's anything else to talk about in terms of the entrances in the beginning. Oh, okay, yeah. This is very important to me. Ginger looked terrific. Her entrance look.
It wasn't. I mean, I know it was a reference to Glamour Toad, but then it wasn't really glamour.
No, or Toad.
I mean, the Toad.
Were you getting Toad from it though?
If someone else apart from Ginger had worn it, I wouldn't have gotten Toad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like it had references, like hints of Toad, but it wasn't like, oh, she's coming in a Toad look.
I think she should have come as Toad from the Mario series.
Oh, like that would have been so good.
Like a really glamorous Toadette.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Can you imagine like a really?
I would love that. And she's like really short as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, she can make that work.
Oh, that'd be so good.
And then like do like that weird cranky voice for the entire time.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that would have been so good. That's what I mean. Like, this is the thing that's pissed annoying about, again, like, you know, I think Ginger's very talented. I really don't understand why she's on this season again, especially, I suppose All Stars 2 was a while ago, but it seems like she's on, we've seen a lot of her recently, in my opinion.
It does.
And, like, I just don't think, I don't know, she's not at the level that most people seem to think she is. Like, she's not going to win this season. I'll eat my hat.
Yeah, I hope she pulls out something.
She has like everything we saw from her basically. These last couple of episodes are not top 3 material, which is what she was in her season. Like she should have just left it there.
Yeah, well, apparently the whole All Stars 2 thing was like she literally just had a divorce, and then they just gotten divorced. And then literally went on the series and was like a complete wreck.
Well, no, that's not what she said. Well, she said like, which is a fair point, but I just don't think it applies. She's like, oh, in All Stars 2, there's no one else going to make the top because I was in under. No, she didn't. She said
other people were making the decisions.
Other people making the decisions. But then it shows the clip of when she got voted off in that outfit. It was horrific. And I'm like, mate, you were top 3 on your season. Like you should have elevated things from that point.
Yeah.
You got booted off in that horrific outfit. Like you come in the entrance wearing this horrific outfit. Like you're not elevating yourself. You're not as good as you were in your season. Am I being too harsh? Like, again, I
really hope that, for example, if the next one's like, if we get like a snatch game or like a comedy challenge or acting challenge, I think Ginger will then crush it.
But we've seen her crush it in those challenges before. She needs to elevate the other areas. She's not crushed it in previous.
That's very true. Yeah, I guess that's the point, right? To be an All-Stars winner, you need to be like. If you look at someone like Shay, who like Shay's original snatch game was good. That actually was very good. She's in the top, I think, for it. But then, like, she came back, and her snatch game was like perfection.
Yes, she was always a look queen, and it was pretty good at everything else. But good at everything else. But she came back and really mastered the things she wasn't as strong on, and everything was on the same sort of level of being outstanding. True. Whereas Ginger's not. Like Ginger's looks compared. This is what I mean. Like I know this is what I don't understand. Like most people think Ginger is objectively a better queen than Eureka. And in some ways, I think she is. But like, look at all the looks that Ginger and Eureka have ever done. Put them side by side. Eureka's miles ahead, in my opinion. Miles ahead.
I'm also in some ways. I mean, I guess it makes sense because Ginger is a singer. But like, that means Ginger's last, All Stars 2 variety performance was singing. Her All Stars 6 variety performance is singing.
And was it live?
I think the first one was live.
I know the first one was, but this one,
I'm not sure about this one.
I don't think it was.
I mean, like that said, like the Gummy Bear, like that little refrain as part of the chorus was like quite catchy. The rest of the song, I was like, this is literally just ripping off Candyman or like any Candy theme song ever with like collection, confection, those kinds of rhymes. But I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to see Ginger in some ways, but
are you genuinely or just
not as much as some of the other queens? I think they're like some of the other queens I'm a bit more excited about.
I still am concerned that you're too nice generally. Are you genuinely excited to see more from her?
I think kind of like Kurt's saying, like a girl group challenge or something like that. I think she's going to be really good TV. I don't think she'll necessarily win, but like I think there'll be probably a couple of episodes of things like Snatch Game or whatever, where I think she's going to be a really good member of this cast, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I know she's strong in those challenges already. So unless she does something completely out of the box, which she did on All Stars already, she did the male drag, right? And like, what else can you do to like? I think everything's going to be trying to reach the heights of what she'd achieved previously.
That's true. And I guess that is difficult, right? When you've been in like the top 3 of a season, and particularly she almost won, right? Like
exactly.
It was basically because I mean, as much as I know you love Pearl, and like Pearl's great. Pearl probably wasn't going to win that season, right? And so, like, between Ginger and Violet, like, it was almost Ginger.
Yes, exactly.
And so it's weird to think, like, to go from, almost winning a season.
But that's a good point. This is actually, you've really, like, backed my point perfectly. Look at how much Pearl's evolved in the area she was weak in since her season.
That's a really good point.
And then look at Ginger. Like, the level of growth, like, Ginger was kind of very high. Pearl was, like, very good generally already. Maybe I'm slightly biased there. Pearl has, like, really exceeded, whereas Ginger stayed where she was.
Yeah, that's fair, I think, maybe. I don't know. I hope we still get some nice moments from Ginger.
Very that.
Work.
Exactly. That's my thoughts on it. Okay, next note. I think this is. I want to point out. I loved Yara's entrance look, like the mask, like the foxy. I thought it was so cool. I loved it. Yara. Yeah,
she's just like. So I loved her in season 3. And also
everyone does.
It was a bit of a thing, but like it's so funny to just look back and just like she is hilarious. Like, and she's just, I mean, she's so visually talented. Like, she gets it. Like, she's just that, you just getting, like, she's that kind of queen who just, like, makes things, is always, like, doing stuff and, like, is very, very busy. And I'm just really excited to see what, like, particularly if we get another Snatch Game, like, I just want to.
Oh, fully. Like, I'm not comparing, I don't think she's anything like Katya, but she's like Katya in that she's completely in her own world. But what she brings of her world is great.
Yes.
Like, actually, you know what? I think that's something I'm just realised now. Like, I think that's maybe like a bit of an issue with Tammy. Like, Tammy's world is amazing, but she doesn't always bring the best of her world through on the show. Whereas, like, Katya, especially in All Stars, brought like the best of her crazy world through. Same with Alaska, same with a lot of other like unique queens. And Yara's fully one of them. Like, mental, but she brings like the absolute best. Like, it's just like brings great content from that.
Yeah, I think Tammy, it's quite hard for people to get it. Like, you have to visit Tammy's world. Whereas I think like Jara and Katya, it's very much like, so here's this thing I've been working on. Like, what do you think?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I really hope we get some more fun Jara moments because she's great.
Yes, I agree.
As Kurt mentioned, kind of, it's almost sad to not have Alexis with her for it, but like,
I know, I think Alexis would have held her back though.
Maybe a bit, yeah. I think, and it's weird because actually, if it had been All Stars 2 and 3 sort of scenario with like 2 winners. Alexis would have had like an incredible track record last All Stars.
Yes,
they only had 1 winner at a time. That like there are a few moments where Alexis was in the bottom because she hadn't won the challenge, but she was basically second.
Yeah.
And that happened a few times. Alexis did really well.
I don't remember a lot of last All Stars. I don't know why.
And in fairness, I blanked out a lot of All Stars 5.
Yeah.
I forget Miss Cracker was there.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and she like Miss Cracker won like 3 challenges, but I genuinely forget.
I can't remember. I must have enjoyed All Stars, I guess, but I just don't remember that much.
I think it happened during the pandemic as well.
I agree.
I think that doesn't help.
No, fully. So again, I haven't really done notes for all the queens, but again, I had quite a few points to make about the entrances. So Silky was trying very hard with her entrance, which was not fun.
I think it was a good look.
Really, I thought it was terrible. Plus, she pulled out like milk from one of her boobs, like. It wasn't fun. It just seemed desperate to me.
Yeah, it was that. But I mean, I did think,
I know I'm harsh.
I mean, in fairness, Silky's not like a queen who I'm naturally drawn to.
No, most people don't like her, right?
Yeah, I think she didn't help. She went sort of in Puerto Vallarta thing there, kind of jazz as well.
Fair.
Although would that have been after she'd have filmed this? Maybe.
So Scarlett I thought Scarlett looked amazing in her just look.
So good.
And also Serena, again, like Scarlett, like she's evolved quite a lot. She's always very good in terms of makeup and looks, but everything was just up a notch, which I really liked. I thought Serena's entrance look was great as well. Really, and it's nice she got to show that at least. Like, it's by far the best she's ever looked on the show.
Yeah.
So that's great. And that's it for the entrances, really.
I guess it's kind of useful for someone like Serena, right? Because we got so little of her and it was so long ago but literally all she really needs to do is like 1 or 2 looks, and everyone's like, and that's not to downplay it.
No.
But like to kind of say like actually, same for like if
sorry.
what's her name from season 8? Layla. If Layla comes back, I think it's going to be like yes, because we only saw her briefly, and we only saw her like failing.
Exactly. And same with who's Sasha Bell as well.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But like, I think just objectively, it was a great, polished, really good look. Like, as I mean, like, I think her look during talent show was bad. Like, but her look, her entrance look was just very good. Generally, not just because it's Serena, it's just a very good look in my opinion.
Yeah.
So now talk about. Sorry, let's answer Kurt's questions first. Now it's a bit of a different section. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna try and stream all this season again. Like, things are still a little bit weird, I guess, but I feel like a lot more like already. I've been more excited about the season, more excited about to hang out with people in the stream and stuff. So like, I'm in a different headspace. So hopefully, like,
is this your all stars?
This is I wouldn't go that far. Like, this is like the only thing where, like, again, I know this is silly, but like literally every single video that I post or every stream I do, I always lose subscribers. So like, it is hard to be like, what is the point of doing it? Like, I don't know. Like, it is a bit disheartening, to be fair. But it is fun. Like, when you guys join in and stuff, it does make it so much more fun. So I appreciate that. So yeah, so should we talk about the like little bits of any particular thoughts on a reading challenge?
I mean, I feel like a few people were like, just like Jan was kind of just a bit like, where are the jokes? It was just kind of, it just felt a bit harsh instead of funny. It's weird because Eureka made very similar jokes, but like Eureka has a slightly lighter touch to it.
Yeah.
Like blah 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 blah. Like there was a bit more of a delivery, whereas like Jan was like, "You're shit. Your family's shit."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty good. I mean, because I don't think we got to see Kylie do a reading challenge in her own season, did we?
I don't remember, so long ago.
And it was just really fun to see her do it, because I mean, oh my god, that one about Ginger saying like she's shaped like a long breath. I had to
ask you for an explanation.
That is a read.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some really fun ones, and not the strongest we've ever had.
As I said, I was disappointed, and especially because there are so many queens, like comedy queens this season, like Ginger, for example. Or,
yeah, I think Pandora would be a bit bigger.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, so I'm like, I don't know. I was unimpressed generally.
Pandora. I realize we've not even mentioned Pandora. Pandora, like, I am excited to have back, but I'm a little bit nervous because I have really fond memories of season 2 and her in that. But that was also the first season I ever watched. And so I think part of me is maybe over-romanticized how much I loved Pandora based on that.
For me, like, it's already, as I talked about in previous streams, I've never found Pandora funny. I don't really understand why people have found her so funny and have warmed to her so much. I also thought her looks were poor previously, but then she wasn't so long ago. But now I've seen these episodes, I think her looks have evolved a lot. I liked a lot of her looks. I think her makeup's great. I think that's a lot better. But I still, personally, again, it's down to personal taste. If people find her funny, go off, sis. But I haven't found her funny during these 2 episodes either.
Yeah. I think my thing with Pandora is I kind of wonder if she's one of those queens who, if you went to see a Pandora show, you'd be like, this is bloody brilliant. But like, because when she sort of is able to kind of construct,
but the point is showcase like the best of your abilities.
Yeah, this is. But I mean, I think
Like I was pretty again. Let's go. Okay, we're going to now. The only thing I was going to say about the reading challenge quick was like, we didn't understand why. Like Raja's joke was like coming for Akiri's thin ankles.
Yeah, is that a thing?
Like a read? Like,
does anybody out there know? Like, is there a trait?
Raja's like, ooh, like when she said it. Like, no, sorry,
Rue was like, how?
Akira. That's what I mean. Exactly. Raja came for Akiri's ankles, and Akira's like, oh, like she went there. She brought her my thin ankles. I'm like, what? Like,
is that a thing?
Exactly. I don't know.
I mean,
I feel self-conscious now.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I mean, I think your ankles are. You've not got thin ankles, Grant.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you.
I mean, I think that's a compliment.
That's the only reason I brought that up was to get some reassurance.
I'll text you that tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave you motivational messages around your flat, being like fuck what they say. You've got wonderful ankles.
Yeah,
aren't thin.
My ankles thick AF. So sorry. Go back to the show. This is what I mean about Pandora. Like, she is known to be, again, like, is this thing, queens put themselves in different categories. She is a comedy queen. Like, that's what she would call herself. I didn't find her act funny, personally. Again, maybe it's just me, but I didn't. Again, you've had how many years, like, to come up back with, like, it's going to be a talent show. Like, you're known as a comedy queen. You have a lot of, like, love for being a comedy queen.
Yeah.
Was it great?
Yeah.
To me, it was giving me a little bit more. Again, I think most people liked she got on top, didn't she? But like, it's giving me a bit Morgan McMichael's energy, like a bit frantic, a bit like.
But why are you mad though?
Exactly. I'm I don't know. That's honestly a fair question. Morgan had it right all along.
No, I mean,
it's like a rat. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Part of me is really hoping that we get, for example, Pandora. I'm hoping that Pandora basically gets to do Snatch Game and finally win it.
I don't think she's good enough.
I can't quite tell because basically there are so many scenes where she's just not there. Like, I feel like she's not getting as much screen time. Maybe.
Well, again, make excuses for her. He wants this, but you know, what I mean, we've seen what we've seen at the end of the day.
But yeah, I mean, I think this is what makes me nervous because a few of the queens who I'd expect to be really good at the comedy bits weren't like crushing it in the reading challenge, and like obviously that's not the exact same as like another comedy challenge or an acting challenge or whatever.
But then they did have that chance. They had the main talent show as well, where some of them did comedy based routines.
Yeah,
and were they funny?
Someone pointed. I think it might have been on the pit stop with Trixie, but like people pointed out that like one of them, I think it was it was Trixie and Bob, and I think they pointed out that like doing a comedy routine or stand-up routine, fine, but like doing a comedy routine during like whilst so many other people are doing songs, for in Trinity's case, that doesn't really work. And I think so maybe having another comedy queen would have made it easier. I mean, that probably would have made Trinity look even worse if they did well. And I guess like Pandora went for like comedy song.
But this is one thing I want to talk about. Again, I think it's better because there's 2 episodes to get through to talk about like more general thoughts on the different areas. So this is one thing I think it is important to talk about. Is that like, and I really stand by this. I think you agree with chat about a little bit, which is like it's similar to like Queen saying looks on the runway. Like you have to like have the confidence in what you're doing and like the charm and likability to sell what you're doing. Whereas Pandora didn't. Pandora's felt awkward to me.
It was
like,
a bit
didn't
timid.
feel. Yeah, it felt timid. It didn't feel fun. But when you compare it to someone like Scarlett, it's like she was having so much fun. She was so much fun to watch because she was having so much fun herself.
Yeah, like,
you know.
I think that's maybe it because Scarlett walks through the world in like and challenges with like a delirious level of self-belief.
Yes,
which is captivating.
Yes,
because she's just there on stage with like bubbles, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, I believe this."
I think that's a vital part of being an all-star drag queen, like 100%. A top tier drag queen, like that, like level of like.
And I think it must be difficult for someone like Pandora because, like, even though Kylie and Pandora have both been away for as long, although technically Kylie was back for the Christmas one, but we don't talk about that. We don't acknowledge the Christmas.
Yes, please don't.
But I think what's sort of difficult is to kind of come back after like 11 years. And then whilst coming back after 11 years, to then be like, I'm the funny one, when like so many funny queens have kind of been on the show since, who have all, I would probably argue, have like been funnier.
Yes, but like I was saying, but again, it's just, maybe just personal taste. But even on her season, I never found her particularly funny myself. Maybe it's just like a personal preference taste thing. I don't know. But I think my greatest point about like the way I think. I mean, even Raja's like she didn't really say much, but like she was fun to watch still because like she was relaxed and chilled and like having fun with it, despite not being like. Whereas someone like a Pandora's is very much like very like erratic and like
that's it,
quite full on, and like she didn't look like she was comfortable. She didn't like worried on her face the whole time. And again, like I get it, like I've got like bad mental health, like you know, a lot of the time, like I'm on antidepressants. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't do what I'm saying they should be doing, but that's why I'm not an all-star drag queen. That amongst many other reasons.
You're not?
Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not. You know, I'm definitely
I'm not a dancer.
It's very that vibe. Also, Kurt's reading was funny. Like first of all, I read it, I'm like, oh no. But then I'm like, yeah, well, it did make me laugh.
Fair.
And I think Kurt's right about the reading. That's how you have to approach it. Like you have to like anyway. And I think it's the same thing with that. Like you have to have like the likability and confidence to be able to like, even if what you're saying is not particularly funny, you deliver it in like a light-hearted, like confident, funny way. And this is what I'm saying. So anyway, that's my thoughts on queens like Pandora and a few of the other, a good few of the other queens in the. You know, in the talent show.
Yeah. Because actually that's a good point because you said about Raja being relaxed.
Yeah.
There was that whole moment where, you know, literally Raja said 2 words once she started sewing, and both of them just felt fun. Just, you know, someone just being like, "You've got 30 seconds, amazing," and there was something just so like calm and like joyous about it. That was like, this is kind of funny.
Exactly.
I kind of wanted a little bit more like interaction with the audience, but then part of me was like, yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
At least he did something different.
Because
I'm a little bit over. Sorry, this is my little rant.
No
But, like, I'm a little bit over talent show being like
Fully.
my talent is essentially lip syncing, which I'm also going to do several times during this show. Like I want to see something different. Like obviously singing is a bit different, but it's like when you've got like 9 lip syncs or songs or like bitch tracks out of 13, it's like, here we go.
Yes, but that's like that's what I said initially before I watched it. Any queen that doesn't do like a lip sync or singing performance, extra points immediately from me. Just think outside the box a little bit.
Except for Serena.
Well, she got extra points, but she took them right away. But then, what was I going to say? Yes, so I was just going to say. Oh no, that's it. So, but also like the weird thing about this season compared to the previous talent shows was like they really tried to sell a lot of the queens as singing live. And I'm pretty sure the only queen that sung live was Silky that I could tell.
Yeah, that's
right.
Fair.
Whereas like Sonique, and, like, Ginger, and Jan, I don't know. It sounded very much pre-recorded to me. I mean, at the very most, maybe I could sort of agree that it was like a pre-recorded track that she was singing over the top of. So it was like
yeah.
But if that's the case, you can hear the pre-recorded track.
Kurt's pointing out it was a variety show, not a talent show.
Well, where's the variety, girl?
Yeah, that's
our point, right?
Going on.
But the other note was like, so what I was saying about Pandora's like the way she seemed was like exactly how Serena seemed as well. Like it wasn't fun to watch because she seemed, I mean, for numerous reasons, but she just seemed desperate and uncomfortable. It didn't seem like fun and quirky. She just seemed like she was struggling. Like
Serena's talent, a variety show performance makes me physically angry, and like partly because I just feel like it fails to deliver on what it's meant to be.
Yeah,
like, and I mean, Michelle Visage sort of brought it up that the execution's wrong, but like. Right, you're trying to like use this as a platform to sell wigs. Yeah. You sell wigs, great. You've mentioned wig like 14 times. You mentioned wig more than Katy Perry. Like you like, but then what you're gonna do? You're gonna put like 3 really dry, thirsty looking wigs out. You're then gonna like pat one with like flour or like whatever, so it kind of just like gets a bit messy and looks a bit dry. And then you're gonna dance in front of them so you can't see them. And then like I think that's what I didn't really get. And like it was a bit kind of like I'm gonna put wigs on this stage regardless of what I do as my performance. Then I'm just going to do my performance, and you'll have to like deal with it. And then, because I was at one point, you know, when it sounds like she's speeding up, like you know the like tease it, twirl it, blah 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 blah. I was like, okay, great. Is she now going to like the next verse is going to be even faster? Like she's just going to keep going, and it's going to be really funny and interesting. And then no, it just stopped. Yeah, like okay,
very that.
Work
exactly that, but I think again, like obviously, there's not much to say because I think everyone's got the exact same view. But Yara's was phenomenal. It was so good. It was so much fun. And again, I think again, obviously, like, the concept's great. But again, I stand by what I said. Like it's like she was having so much fun with it herself. She was like living her dream, and it was. I think that's what made it so much fun to watch. Like she's psycho. But like she was having time of life, and I was having time of my life.
I love Yara so much.
So good. It was so good.
It was so stupid. It was just like literally the whole lyrics were just like jiggle these titties.
Yeah.
And I'm like, love you.
100%.
Like I'm so behind you right now. Like this is, and like they were purposely like comically done so that they really like extended out when they were being jiggled. Like she thought it through. And I was like, Jara, yes, like it's stupid. But then like, you know, these variety performances don't need to be like I have like an exceptional talent. It's entertainment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I think
and
some
variety,
forget.
As Kurt's saying as well.
Yeah. I think this is what some of them forget. Like Silky's, like it was okay piano playing and okay singing. I say this is someone who can do neither. But I think what really confused me was like she just played a sort of an old gospel hymn or like an old hymn. I think it's a hymn or gospel song. That and then like didn't take it to the next stage. Like I was fully expecting her to be like right next and like just like
play it off and like
do something to like transform it. But it was just like
I mean
that's it.
I mean she's got a nice voice, and I think it takes a lot of confidence to sing. You know. Accompany yourself like that and not use a backing track or whatever. So again, extra points for that.
Yeah.
But I again, broken record, but it's the same thing for me. She seemed a bit like nervous and uncomfortable and unsure. She wasn't giving me the gospel lady energy I was hoping for from it. I think that was a big part of it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking the same as Simon. Like, was she maybe like a late addition to the cast and like didn't have as much time to prepare, or
why do we need so many queens? Like, why would it be a late addition? There's so many. It's not like they couldn't have culled a couple of them.
And maybe like someone to replace the door. Or...
Yeah, I don't think Adore ever got through like in terms of like.
Fair, yeah.
I think it's more preliminary sort of thing. I don't think it's like, okay, you're cast on this. From what she said in her life, I could be wrong.
But like, I mean, it's just like, imagine if I was like, oh, Grant, like you've got like weeks to prepare like something for a variety show, and then you literally like, oh, so here's like a song like somebody else did. I'm just gonna like do it with the microphone, and like not add anything. I was like,
exactly. I completely agree.
Oh, that's a good point from Kurt. Yeah, Silky was a favourite, so she wouldn't have been a replacement.
I agree. Yeah. But also especially by RuPaul. But also, this is what, again, a broken record. But everything needs to be elevated. Like that definitely was not an elevated performance in any way. So anything else to say about the variety show?
No, sorry, I realised for like 45 minutes I've just been like blah.
No, I've been very hateful this episode, but
we're so full of hate.
I know, but it's fun.
What's wrong with us?
So my next note is, I thought this was proper funny. Yeah,
I can see what this note is. I'm so happy about this.
So basically, let's set the scene. So the producers to Yara, you know, you've seen the show before. Like the viewers aren't supposed to know who you're choosing, so like you need to give like a point for and against both queens. So Yara says, on one hand, Serena looked better. But on the other hand, Trinity fucked up. So like, they're like, who did she choose?
Because I was saying, because Grant reacted how I did, and I was really glad because this is my second time watching it with Grant, and I didn't really like rewind it when I had heard that bit. And I was like, did Yara just basically say like, so yeah, like Serena was good, Trinity was shit, I'm gonna get rid of Trinity. And I just thought I'd missed it. And so like hearing it the second time, I'm like, no, like Jara was literally like, I'm gonna make this sound like, you know, like one hand, Serena's good. The other hand, Trinity shit. It's a really difficult decision.
My next note is when they were going through, okay, anything else to say about like who's the lip sync assassin? Coco? Yeah, it's fine.
Coco did really well.
It should do well,
It's always a joy to see Coco, right? And Vous Animal by Coco.
Yeah. She looks great. Her
looks so good.
Great. Like
she was having fun. Like she was really happy.
Yeah, I agree. It was nice to see. It was nice to see. So just in terms of what so much to go through, I'm just like, is there anything particular like stand out about that to bring to the table? I'm like, not really, right? It was nice. It was good. Well done, everyone. Raja was very good as well. Was it Raja episode?
No, it was Jara lip syncing.
Jara, yeah.
And she basically did just sort of do like her.
It was fun. I think I loved her outfit.
Jiggled those titties, those titties.
I think it was really fun. I really liked it. But yeah, so the next thing was like when they went through. I must again the beginning of the next episode where they went through. So anything else to say about this episode? Nah, cool. I miss Piggy. Let's not talk about that. It's super depressing.
Oh yeah.
So like at the beginning of the next episode where they went through the lipsticks, like it was like the cult of Cha Cha Cha. Like every feud, it'd be like Serena.
One
Cha Cha Cha. Exactly. I mean, it's so weird. It was like so solemnly. Like it was like.
I'm gonna start doing that every time someone gives me bad news. I'm just gonna be like, cha cha
cha. Exactly. It was so weird. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I know we missed at the end of the first episode when Serena is told that she is still in the game because
I did skip that part.
You did skip that. But it was. What I find really funny, they literally let Serena pack up, like, you know, take all of her makeup off, like, pack all of her bags, and then, like, you're still in the game, girl. I'm like, sorry, like, did you not tell her before she, like, packed absolutely everything, like, into, like, tidy little things, and, like, because then she could just take the bag somewhere else, like, she doesn't...
Yeah, I agree, yeah. So, wait, that's a good point. Why the fuck was Coco Jack impersonating?
That's a really good point.
In episode 2. That is a very good point, Kurt.
Maybe to make it fair.
Maybe.
But then if they now bring in Derek to do a Britney song, it'd be like...
Yeah,
actually,
I agree. Well, exactly.
Derek wasn't a lip sync assassin.
No, exactly. Apology not accepted. So, okay, a controversial point, but we both... I checked with Bob, and like, I think it's maybe worth talking about. So, because Yara was the only person who chose Serena to stay, and I was and I was just wondering because like they had that talk and like Serena said some stuff in Spanish. I'm wondering if it is like maybe like a bit of a race thing in terms of like saving this like her Southern American sister. Like
potentially, I do sort of wonder if part of me wonders if like a big part of it is like kind of Jara sort of looking out for her a little bit because maybe I don't know if they have a connection for. I don't know if they already knew each other, but like. It is interesting with someone. I think it's interesting because it was so stark, right? Because literally every other queen chose Trinity.
Exactly.
I also do wonder maybe if there was something about because Trinity got to plead her case first to all the other queens, and Jara and Serena got to plead her case first to Jara. I do wonder if that also had an effect. That when they then met the second queen, they were like, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, but that's the thing. Like, Serena like said some stuff in Spanish to her, right? Like, cha cha cha. That's all she had to say. Just walk in, cha cha cha. Walk out again.
and everyone were like,
yeah, that's it. That's all you needed. That's all you needed.
Yeah.
So just thought I'd chuck that out there.
Yeah.
Thought it could be interesting.
Yeah, no, I do wonder. I mean, because you do sort of have to wonder sometimes if that plays into bits as well. You know, whether like in terms of ally building, if you're kind of like someone like Jara, do you want to keep around someone like Serena who, like, maybe I don't know if they know each other already, but like someone who might also have their back or like might get them a little bit.
Exactly. Better. Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
And also, you know, not being funny, but like, who would you rather keep around, like Trinity, or just, like in terms of competition, like? Would you rather keep Serena?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Or like,
but no, you know what? This is what I mean. I was going to say it's based on what you said a second ago. Anyway, like I can't really brought it up. I think it might be Ginger, but talking about eliminating people based purely on like ability as opposed to things like friendships and like things you have in common aesthetically or whatever. Like I don't know. I'm kind of more here for that this season. Like again, I feel like previously I'm like, yeah, play the game, whatever. But like Trinity, for example, like I would want to see more from Trinity for sure. Like, I'd be really disappointed if she was sent home first episode. I mean, I think it was deserved. She did so shit. But like, I'm really excited to, as I said, I think I might have said if I reacted to I've said to at least people off air.
Yeah.
That I was really excited to see more from Trinity because I think she has got a lot more to bring, and it would be a shame, really big shame for her to go so quickly. And like objectively, she's like from what we've seen of her in terms of the show in a greater context, Trinity has shown us a lot more than Serena has.
Yeah. I also think in terms of redemption, like Serena just being there is kind of a big deal. Whereas I think Trinity...
Let's talk about that, because I feel like she did kind of fuck up her redemption with her shitty variety show performance, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, originally, I'm like, fuck, like, she has improved so much, she's not come into play, but then I think her variety show performance was pretty abysmal. Personally.
Yeah, it was not great. But then I think maybe that's the whole point of this twist, really, right, as well. Like, these queens... I mean, I guess we don't know what the twist is, fully. Like, we know that Jiggly and Serena are somewhere in a loading dock, just like doing something, and part of me wonders if we're going to get them competing in challenges with just themselves, or like we get to a top 5 of both.
No, it's too much because there's too many queens. There's not enough.
That's true.
Airtime for that. It's a good idea. It's something I thought in previous seasons they may do, like Big Brother style. But there's just too many queens. We can't possibly have.
That's true.
Like that much TV time. I feel way too cramped.
Also, I guess the difficulty with that is it's an uneven number. Yeah, so you can't even kind of get to the halfway point of the season and then be like, right, we've now got 7 versus 7.
It would just be like what always happens. Like they bring them all back at some point. There'd be some drama, and one of them will get to stay through like some challenge. Yeah, it'd just be what they always do. They just dress it up differently every time, but it's always the same thing.
That's true.
Sorry to burst the bubble, team. Thanks. So I mean, this is general note, but I'm not here for any of the remixes. Like the remix opening song, the remix like runway entry song. Like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I'm just like, it's a bit too overwhelming for me.
It's a lot,
right?
It's really. I think it's weird because it's louder and like more in your face and a bit more 80s. It's
It's like extra levels. I had like extra levels of like instruments and percussion or whatever. It's just like cha 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 cha.
Yeah.
So actually, I've only written one note about this episode that's relevant to the end. So let's just talk about episode 2 a bit more generally. We've talked about different parts of it already as we talk about episode 1 and that. So, but yeah, should we just go through it? What was the mini challenge this time? Was it a mini challenge? I don't think it was.
No, it was just straight to the ball, I think, right?
Okay, cool. So I guess again, from what I can remember, my memory's shit. Even though I literally just watched something and haven't written it down, I don't remember there being anything particularly exciting happening in the workroom in preparing for the challenge.
No, apart from Jara being like, "I've got this. I'm really fun." Do you know when Alyssa did her was writing?
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
I can't do this. I can't do it. It's so funny. Yeah. That was basically Jara this entire episode. Yeah. Oh my god, it looks so good. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so good. Yeah. Like, all right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Got to Jara.
Yeah.
And it did briefly look like maybe it was a mistake and that she would basically be winning or like doing well.
Yeah, it's like a reverse. What do they call it when like
reverse Uno?
Oh, what? Like when they throw you off the scent by trying to make someone look shit.
Oh, like a red herring.
Yeah, it's like a reverse red herring where like they make like a red herring, but then it actually wasn't red herring because she wasn't great. Her look wasn't amazing.
Say herring again.
Herring?
No, it was just because you said red herring a lot in that sentence. I was like, just it's a good one.
Cha. So, sorry, I need to. I can't read comments. I can't stop read comments. I need to stop doing that. I'll read them as we talk. So yes, should we just go through again? We can't go through all 36 outfits. Should we just go through like standouts and stand downs for like each category?
Stand down,
right?
Cha.
I say cut like toots and boots and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just our own stream. We're our own independent women, and we can have our own like categories.
Yeah.
You okay?
No, I'm just trying to remember all 36 looks, despite having seen them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is my point. We're not going to remember everything. I'm not going to write down 36 lines. Like, it's just not worth it. We talk about if it stood out to us for being particularly good or bad. Like, that's enough. Like, we don't need to go through all.
So I think Eureka was really good in that first one with the kind of crossing the road.
Loved it. I think that's my favorite.
Really well
first
done.
Look.
I think it was really clever to do such like a bold color.
Very like what Tina should have done. Tina Burner.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And like she really camped it up.
So polished. But she still
really
looked great.
polished,
Like,
really camp and funny.
This is what, again, like, for big girls, to interrupt you, but like big girls, like, you're used to it. But big girls, like, this is what I mean. Like, if you like, the silhouette is still really important. Like, someone like Silky, I know she's bigger, but like, she doesn't ever try to give herself any sort of shape. Whereas like Eureka's shape is always great. And it makes her look really pretty on top of like having a fun, campy big girl look.
Yeah, and it brings an element of polish to like, because it's a really polished look. And then it shows that she's thought about everything. She's proportionized.
Yeah, she's fully proportionized. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think that is sometimes the issue with Silky, where it's like it'll be really like well proportioned for like most of the outfit, and then it'll just be like something where she's kind of just like given up on the bottom, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like on that note, like as Selene was saying, like Trinity's crossing guard one was potentially the worst. Probably the worst.
I was really angry at this because only watching the second time did I realize she was basically just wearing like normal trousers that had not been like edited in any way. And I get you're going for construction work. You're not, but like if you're doing construction work on Drag Race, you elevate and especially on All Stars, you elevate the look, you adapt it, you do something funny with it. Like so, like even though it wasn't always fully successful, Akira's was all like glittery and shiny, and like had the welding arm thing, right? Like the pipe thing. Whereas I think like Trinity's was like fairly basic trousers that like you could get in any shop, like fairly basic jacket you could get in any shop. Like the only thing that was like draggy about it was her face.
Yes, no, I agree completely. But also like it looked crafty. Like if she'd made that for the challenge, I would have been like, okay, like it looks crafty. But it wasn't. Like, this is an outfit she prepared and sorted out for. Like I'm thinking of like the sign, for example. Like I like the other elements she brought to the outfit.
Really shit.
That's what I mean. I mean, again, like I feel like because Eureka is always so polished and elevated with her looks. If I was in the workroom and I was talking to Eureka because I'm doing crossing guard and I'm at the point where I'm trying to decide whether to make a sign or not, at that point I need to change this. Like this is not going to work. I'm not going to beat Eureka. Like it's I think it's weird that two people thought of that particular profession. It's quite a weird profession.
I think there was a third as well somewhere.
Was there?
Someone else had something, but like it was just slightly adapted. But I think that was the really weird thing because like Eureka's was also really thought through. Like she had on one side like Starp or Storp, I think.
Storp,
and then the other was Strut.
Yeah, great.
And it was a really clean looking sign. It was really cleverly thought through.
Yeah.
And then Trinity's was like really like finger painted.
Yeah.
And like you couldn't really read it, and then when you did, it was like a bit sloppy and like sideways.
Yeah.
And like again, like if you see Eureka in the, because you must have done that in the workroom.
Yeah.
Like if you see Eureka with that in the workroom, I'd be like, I'm not going to do a sign that's going to look shite.
Yeah.
I'm either going to change my look or I'm going to like drag up something else in this.
Exactly, do something to set it apart.
And it's really disappointing because like Trinity has good looks normally.
But yes, she does. Exactly. Again, I expected more from her, and based on what I've seen, I not on this episode, this season, but like from what I've seen of her after Drag Race, it's like I don't know what's going on with her. So yeah, I really hope that like almost getting eliminated is giving her the kick up the arse she needs to step up a little bit. But yeah, I think it is always difficult. Just want to quickly say, it's always difficult when two queens wear the same look on the runway because you're just going to get compared.
Sure.
But I do feel like if that wasn't the case in this instance, it's just Trinity's look, it still would have been very bad, potentially the worst one.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just the two. Any other first look? Any other notes on any of the, like first looks?
I love that. I mean, like Raja, I think Raja did at least do sort of something with bits of her look. and like had the little beehive wig and the helmet on top. But it did look, a lot of it was basically store bought, and then it wasn't like cinched on. Like I think almost she needed to have that jacket open a little bit because I think she had done some like draggy bits.
It just wasn't that creative. It's just like the most important part of, especially like for this ball challenge, especially the looks where you bring stuff in, is like the creativity you bring to the looks. And to me, it wasn't particularly creative.
I mean, she presented the hell out.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that made all the difference. But the look itself was like, that's exactly what I'd expect a queen to come out in for this challenge. And
yeah,
it was. So also the only thing I say about the first section is like it's supposed to be blue collar like work. I know the categories are loose, but like some of them were proper like what? Like what's going on here? Like
jam.
Yeah, exactly. Jams was wheels. Like yeah, I don't know. Some of them were just a bit like missed the mark for me a little bit. I do think the category is important to an extent, but maybe I'm more of a stickler for it than some other people. I don't know.
I think normally on the runway, I say this like I'm a judge. Normally on the runway, I'm really looking for creativity, and like I kind of like polish. I do care about, but like if someone's really clever and creative or something, I'm always happy to go for that. And I think I was just a bit underwhelmed by some of them. Of like, oh, okay, you kind of went literal here.
Exactly, I agree. So Kurt's asking why we think the ball challenge was so early. I think same as reading, same as Snatch Game, same as the variety show, because they're the best challenges. So they want all these queens are supposed to be very good. They want to get them, they want to show what the best of what the queens can bring.
I'm glad they didn't do like the Down Under and have Snatch Game episode 2 though.
I wouldn't be surprised if next episode.
In All Stars, I think that's okay because
that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. They want before more queens have gone. They want all the queens to perform in the challenges that all the viewers love, right?
I mean, I think Salima makes a really good point here. Like, what was Kylie? Like, what job was Kylie?
She did say, but I don't remember. I think it was like a mechanic-y sort of thing, right?
It was kind of mechanic-y, yeah. But then she had a hammer, like a really random. It was a bit mixed message. I think she got away with it because she looked really pretty.
But still, compared to Jan, it's like, what job are you? Like,
yeah,
she was more mechanic than Jan was mechanic to me.
I mean, Jan was the car being worked on.
Exactly. Is that a blue collar job? Being a car?
being a car. Yeah. I'm a car. Yes, you are, Jan.
Yeah, very that. Yeah. She is so fun.
I just kept on singing Aquarius Burn Rubber throughout all of that.
Okay.
Like Aquarius song Burn Rubber?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one was the Denim one, right? Denim Baby. Blue Baby.
Yeah.
Blue Baby Denim. Was it Denim?
Yeah, it was Denim. I can't remember what they called it. It was something. It was a really ridiculous name. It was. But a few of the looks were pretty cool. I thought Kylie looked really gorgeous with the kind of Christina Aguilera.
That's my favorite. I think that's my favorite look of the evening. I always loved Christina's look in that era, and like that dirty video. Like I still think it's like, I don't know, no one's done anything like it really since. And, I think she looked. Yeah, she did like a really cool spin on it. Like it wasn't just copying the look, which a lot of queens do. They take a look from Met Gala and just recreate it.
Yeah.
Whereas she was heavily influenced by like Christina. Like they said Britney. I didn't really see that much Britney personally, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, especially Christina, but it still was like different. It still was made it her own. I loved it. I thought that was my favorite of the night, maybe.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I just thought it like you said, it kind of took the reference and then did like add a little bit to it.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Jan's geometric denim. I thought it was at least really different and clever. Like, because everyone else is going to do like some variation on like cowboy, or like cookout, like denim kind of cookout kind of thing, or whatever. And I really appreciated that. Like Kylie went for that reference. Jan went for geometric.
Yes. I personally didn't like the pattern on it. Like I love the shape.
Pattern was a bit off-putting.
The shape of the dress was amazing, especially using that material. But like I didn't like the patterning on it. Yeah, and like you said, like the padding could have been a bit better.
Yeah,
like on the arse and that.
Yeah.
So Kurt's saying, I want to point out, Kurt's saying why no one do the Britney Spears denim dress. I don't think that would have been a good shout because of the denim and diamonds challenge from, was it previous All Stars? Yeah, because one Mayhem was in. So we had a lot of dresses that looked like that Britney dress in there. So for me, I don't think that would have been good because it would have looked like something that had been done previously on the runway.
Yeah.
I mean, even Mayhem's dress was a bit like Britney-esque, just pink. I don't know.
Yeah, I just found like a really interesting, like I really liked the viewpoint of Raj's one on this. I don't know if it like I was fully sold on it, but like I really appreciated that very Mary J. Blige kind of.
I liked it.
I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Again, to me, like, it was more creative in her first outfit, but again, it needed something else for me to like.
Yes, it needed just one extra little.
Exactly. But like, I liked it. I think it was one of the better ones.
Yeah.
I really like Jiggly's. Again, it wasn't particularly special, but just because the judges disliked it.
Yeah, we had
this
conversation as we were like watching that, like, Jiggly's one is like, I know that girl. Like, like she's the girl I would have like seen around like Camden when I was like a teenager, like around all like the grungy kids. Like, I know that girl.
And again, like as I was saying previously, like she sold the character really well. Like,
yeah,
that's what made it
bratty.
Fun.
Yeah, a bit like,
and very different. Like none of the other runways were anything like that.
Yeah.
So like it was good. I don't know why people disliked it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kurt. So I guess we move on to the final category, the actual made ones, which is probably the most important one.
Yeah, some choices.
I think that, like, again, I probably said this in previous streams, so apologies, but I think the most important thing for these, like one of the most important things, A, creativity / uniqueness, and B, like the silhouette and like shaping it well to your body and like just creating a good shape for yourself. And I think the second one of that, so many queens failed on, they never picked up on it, which really confuses me. Like
Silky's was a mess.
Silky was an absolute mess, but like I think Akira's was the biggest culprit. Like literally the top half, even the bottom half wasn't a good shape either. The top half was literally just a box. Like it gave her no shape whatsoever. The concept was great because she had the first one down, very creative, could have been really cool. But the second part of it, like she looked terrible in my opinion. Like it just didn't do her any favors. She didn't look.
It didn't.
It looked terrible. But loads of them had that issue. Again, I can't. There's another one I'm thinking of. I can't remember. I think it was Ginger. A few of them, to be fair, like maybe even half of them. No, not half. A good few of them had that issue, and it really annoyed me.
Yeah,
personally.
But yeah, I agree with Selena on that. Like Trinity, I think did a pretty good job on that final, on the one she made herself. That kind of like
he said earlier, like he liked it more than the remakes. I'm not sure you've seen that, but it's Cinderella remake.
Scarlet's
hers was pretty good. It's pretty plain, but like it's very well constructed. Quite a sleek like gown.
Oh yes, yeah.
Had the fish tail bit at the bottom.
How did they? I'm surprised that they really hated Jara's one. I mean, I didn't think it was that.
I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was very cohesive. It was very much. It seemed like two things together, and neither of them were like nothing on it was great. Maybe. I didn't really hate it. I thought they were actually quite kind about her look. I didn't think it was. Again, for someone who's known for being able to construct good looks, like I just don't think I expected more from her personally. Which is a compliment because she's.
Raja's was really good though.
Yeah, I think that was very good.
It was so like I think you said editorial when we were watching, which is exactly like with those long sleeves and like that like bit. I was like, that's really clever to kind of thing.
And using that material as well.
Yeah, and because she just had like the patterns measured out, you know, that she brought with her. Yeah, you got food. She brought the patterns. We're gonna have someone guess on stream at this. There was I thought something was really clever about the pattern. Like she had thought it through to bring that with her. And bring it along and just make it. And I was like, yes. And again, using quite a difficult material because it's that kind of tough, padded, just casually doing stuff in the background. It was like quite a tough kind of quilted, fabric-y thing, which is quite hard to work with, I think. And she did really, really well. But we got a lot of people in the comments, Kurt and Selena in the comments talking about Jara's looks being really, really busy. But that is like Jara all over, I think, right? Like her Moneyball look.
Yes, but she normally has like the editorial, like sleek aspect to it that she didn't have this time.
I think
it was just messy.
Like,
yeah, I don't know. You can do messy in the right way. This definitely wasn't the right way.
That's me.
IMO. Yeah, I mean, true.
I'm a mess.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's it really. Is there any other final looks that were particularly awful or particularly good?
I'm feeling Pandora was pretty decent.
I was impressed with hers. I think that's one thing as well. Is like I think for these ball challenges, the final look is always most important because I mean the creativity stuff you bring to the other ones, that is important as well. But the final look is like it's a design. I think ultimately it's a design challenge. Like how your final look turns out is by far the most important.
And it's the one that you're going to be standing on stage in, right?
Yeah,
that's the final. And we've seen it a few times where queens have like two really good looks. The final one's been garbage, and like they've not done well because it's just like they just sort of stood up there looking like a pile of crap.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was an interesting ball look. Like I don't think we had many like super iconic looks. And maybe it's more difficult like nowadays to have like super iconic looks in everything. But like if you sort of think back to, I mean, and I know that was sort of best drag, but like actually like All Stars 5, like some of Jujubee's looks. Some of Shay's looks, where you're just like just give them the crown now. Like like Shay's bodysuit, like naked bodysuit kind of look. My goodness, like
some great looks. That's just something I can't talk about as Silky look. It honestly makes you feel ill. Like it was horrible.
I find it just really weird and confusing with Silky because it's kind of.
I don't get why she's there.
I don't think I've ever really looked at one of her looks and been like, yes, you crushed it. Actually, she did have some beautiful gowns. I will say that.
I know the only one I liked was like the Jasmine style one. It was like a latex thing with like the big ball hair, and then she bought like she was the first queen to do it on Drag Race I'm aware of, like the big balls, the big ball ponytail.
Yeah, I think.
And then Latrice did it on All Stars as well.
Oh yeah.
And then she bought like a worse version of that into her entrance this season. But I was just gonna say like again, I've been quite harsh on Pandora, but I really liked all her looks in the ball. I think she looked again like she had made a lot. She was elevated from what I'd seen of her previously with her looks, and I thought good, generally very good. Like again, nothing that outstanding I'm going to remember in a year's time, but like, I thought her looks were good, and her makeup was really great. Like best makeup I've ever seen on Pandora easily.
Fair.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's it really. Is there like anything else to really talk about?
No, I mean the lip sync was good.
Oh, lip sync was very good.
Raja really brought it out. I agree with you. I think Raja won it instead of it being a tie.
I agree. Which is a good, impressive feat against Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Brooklyn looked amazing. Like her makeup, like again, she obviously had a lot of work done, but like her makeup was great. Like her outfit was kind of like pretty good, but like her makeup, like here upwards, like full fantasy.
And then everyone chose Jiggly.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like it's something about previously. Jiggly is so much fun. Like even with like when she was like pleading her case, like. That's like give you a Netflix part. I give you a Netflix part.
Yeah,
it's just so much fun.
Her.
And we're saying we're watching it. Like it's a shame these two in the bottom because they're both such good TV. Like Yara, like what's the thing as well? And Yara's like said when they're about to lip sync, or she just like did this scream. Yeah, exactly. And Raj's like okay. But something like so Yara's such great TV, and so is Jiggly. Like Jiggly's been so much fun this season already, and she was in her own season as well. So like it's a shame that they were two in the bottom.
Yeah, and. It's weird now because sort of, having lost Jiggly and Serena, it's kind of like, well, actually, it's probably going to start getting quite tough because we're going to start losing a lot of queens who are like sort of favourites or like up there, right? Soon. This
is what I mean. Like I said, again, I did a stream about it. It's what I said about the seasons. Like I like it when there's all-star seasons with no clear front runner because it makes it more interesting. Like I still don't know who's going to win at this point. Like there are loads who had the potential to win with how much they've grown and changed from their season and what they can bring and like. Yeah,
and as much as like, for example, I definitely think Shay deserved All Stars 5. It was kind of one of those moments like Shay walks in and you're like, okay, it's over.
Exactly, 100%.
I'll top 4.
Same as saying he saw Brooklyn outside of Bianca Show in London and she did Edinburgh in person. That's always cool to hear. Yeah, okay. We'll answer who our top 4s are, and then we'll do CUNTs and then eat some very hungry little boys. Top 4s.
Top 4.
Go on. It's really difficult for me at this point,
Yeah, because I'm trying to like base it only on what they've done in 2 weeks, as opposed to
I think that
queens who I loved from the beginning.
Not love, the queens who you think have the potential based on what we've seen from them throughout all the Drag Race.
I think Eureka's going to be in that top 4.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Like not always necessarily a queen I've always loved, but like a queen who I think is crushing it.
Scarlett.
Yes, I'd love to see her up there. Raja, I think, has a good shout.
I think Raja potentially as well.
She seems in a really good place. Who does that leave? I feel like we probably will then see someone like Jin.
I really hope not.
I think she could make it. It depends on what happens.
She might fuck up again like she did on All Stars.
I think if she has another safe week next week, it's maybe over for her like winning. Am I forgetting someone really obvious?
I know. I feel like I am as well.
Jan.
No, I think it's been too soon. Like all the reasons we said previously, she's not going to make it. I feel like there's queens I'd probably replace or I'm missing, but that's difficult, Kurt. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I think that's what's really on Kylie. Yeah,
I was thinking maybe Kylie, but I don't think I've seen enough from her to really know.
I really hope she does well.
Yeah, me too.
Even if Kylie goes home next week, I think this has been a really good thing for Kylie.
Oh, for sure. She's looked stunning. She's been really fun to watch. Yeah, great.
Kyrie is an interesting one. I actually really wonder what's going to happen with Kyrie this season.
It's still my favorite thing. I've always liked her. I liked her a lot on her season. I think she's very entertaining and fun. She's very polished. She's great at loads of things. But same thing as, again, a broken record. But like, what is she going to bring this season we've not seen from her already?
Fair.
I just don't know why she's here personally. But she could make top 4. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So we're part of CUNTs for the lads?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is for both episodes, yo.
Oh, yeah.
So
Charismanum.
I think the one who's standing out for me is probably Scarlett.
I was going to give it to maybe Raja because she's in she's so like happy and joyous. Or maybe let's go for her.
Or Yara.
Oh.
But I think Scarlett, because like, she's the one I'm most like warming to. I'm most enjoying watching.
And if I give
Probably
Yara, forget about Yara. I'm going to give it to Raja.
Okay, guys, you can do yours as well. This is a group thing.
Uniqueness. I'll give uniqueness to Yara because she's in her own bloody world.
Yeah, but Kurt, that shouldn't have happened anyway. You know my thoughts on that already. Fully. Although, again, if I hadn't given to Scarlett already, I just think her talent was so unique.
That's true. That's fair.
Damn it.
Yeah.
None of the other talents were particularly unique, were they? None of the ball looks were particularly unique. This is tricky. I think Yara, same as you for personality. Nerve, Serena for that All Stars for the talent show. Right?
She had the nerve to do that.
Exactly.
To put out some dry wigs.
Yeah, to try and sell her wigs.
Pat them with flour to make them even drier.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nerve. Who could it be? I want to say the talent. This is hard. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Nerve. Who's shown nerve? I want to say someone like
maybe Trinity for doing the comedy, for having the balls to do the comedy despite getting bad for all other ones.
That's a good shout.
It did take nerve.
It did. It didn't pay off, but it took nerve. And then talent.
Who are you choosing for nerve?
I think I'll go for Trinity as well.
Okay, you're welcome.
And maybe Scarlett for talent.
You haven't done it yet. I might go Raja for talent.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, because again, she's. I was very impressed with her. Very, very impressed with her talent showing as well. Raja's. Yeah, so I'm comfortable with Raja.
Kurt's giving talent to my calves, which
I mean, honestly fair.
So you just got my foot.
So I think I can get Bob. So Kurt's giving Charisma Jiggly, Uniqueness Yara, Nerve Ginger for voting for Jiggly, her friend.
Oh,
it's very much Katia, best friend Stitch all over again. Teeth Bob's cast. Slaven's giving Charisma to Scarlett, Uniqueness to Yara, Nerve to Raja, and Talent to Jan.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is it?
She has shown a lot of talent.
Okay, work. And thanks, Kurt. Yeah, I feel like again, no promises. Because I don't put pressure on it generally, but I'm having fun with the season. I'm having fun streaming.
Yeah.
I can't see why we wouldn't carry this on. If we can find time.
Yeah.
Every weekend, and people are happy to come here or whatever, then hopefully we'll carry on. And if you guys are happy to keep watching,
it's gonna be weird only having one episode next week because I think I kind of
there's so much to get through though.
Do you know? Yeah, that's true. But do you know when you sort of binge a whole season? So for example, I watched season 2 mostly in time, but caught up with the first 4 episodes, and then I watched all of seasons 3 to 7 and 1 in one basically over a few weeks or a few months really, and then so when I came around to watch season 8 in real time, I was really annoyed that I had to wait a week between each episode. I'm how dare you do this?
Yeah.
And now because they've given us 2 episodes, I'm yes. And then oh no, wait, I have to wait. Okay.
I know, I'm kind of that as well. Any recommendations?
What would I recommend?
I can do mine first if you want.
Go for it.
Mine is Bob's YouTube channel, Bob the Bookerer. He's honestly doing really, really well. He's got a lot of traction. He's getting a lot of followers and subscribers. Go and subscribe. You review different books. You book challenges.
Yeah.
You probably guessed, very book focused channel. But still, Bob's award-winning personality. It's still fun to watch. Yeah. I don't know nothing about books. Never done a reading in my life. But I still dump his videos on in the background. Fun, nice time for all. Highly recommend.
Well, other girls were making looks. I was reading books.
Exactly. It's very that vibe.
What was I don't know what else I'd recommend apart from my own channel.
Yeah, go for it.
What would I recommend? What have I even been listening to or watching? I've been listening to John Grant's new album. That's been fun. Love John Grant.
Represent Grant.
Yeah.
Grant
that's you. Kurt would recommend getting full head of hair.
I just read that.
Like Grant. Oh, I see. I actually read that as Bob at
very
first.
Hurtful.
And the eyesight of Floppy Bob. I mean, I think we're both prime
between us,
examples of those.
We almost make one functioning human, so we'll get there. So yeah, I'm very hungry.
I am very hungry too.
But cheers for tuning in, team. I have to go over there to stop the stream, so you might have to do a little outro thing for me. But thanks for watching. So I'll set up stream some point next weekend. Most probs, hopefully. Thank you very much. And yeah, nice hanging out again. So go off. Oh, it sounds Bob the Bookerer.
Yeah.
I would put a link in the description, but I probably won't bother editing that.
Great.
So yeah, love you all. Have a nice rest of weekend day.
Cha-cha-cha.
And cha-cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha.
Keep going.
Have a fun time, everyone. And I'm going to give you some more legs.